Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, you could subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. That'd be a big help. So just hit that subscribe button for me. Much love to you for doing that. 2 thumbs up. It's Christmas. Hey. Yeah, I've just watched Jack Cullen. Little Lever's Meat Cleaver. What a brilliant nickname. But unfortunately, didn't work out for him. He got knocked out with a single left hook to the body by another unheralded Frenchman. We've had a couple of them tonight. A guy called Sadjo. I have no idea. I had no idea about him. I hadn't seen him fight before. And yeah, it was an EBU super-middleweight title fight. There were 5 inches in height difference between the two fighters, and Cullen, I mean, he looked so thin and so rakishly thin. He couldn't make middleweight. He says he lost to Felix Cash because of the weight, and you can believe him because he's huge for a super middle. Never mind a middle. But yeah, it started off well enough. Obviously, Cullen wanted to keep it on the outside. The little guy was boring forward, but fighting in bursts. It was almost like he was conserving his energy, not throwing that many punches, trying to get close to Cullen. And he was quite happy for Cullen to constantly work, which he was doing, using up a lot of energy early on, Cullen. And you just got the feeling that over 12 rounds, it was going to be hard for Jack to keep that momentum up, to keep that work rate up, that he was going to inevitably slow down. And so it proved. Because although he was winning rounds, he was doing well. Whenever Sadjo got close, he'd let his fists go, and it was, was the writing on the wall? Well, the danger signs were certainly there, let's put it that way. Like I say, Sadjo, to be honest with you, he kind of reminded me of a little miniature Derek Chisora, because he loved that overhand right. Whenever he was in close, he was throwing both fists, but you could tell he was kind of favouring that big overhand right. Chisora, being, more or less shorter than most of the heavyweights in the division, likes to throw the big overhand punches, likes to be busy. And Sadjo was the same, especially against, the beanpole Jack Cullen. But Cullen, when he was on the periphery, right on the periphery of the punching range, he was scoring points, using up a lot of energy, but Sadjo was creeping closer. When he got closer, he was letting the punches go. And although he favoured the right, it was the left hook to the body that undid Cullen. And it was right out the blue. So in the 6th round, Cullen was doing his usual thing. Lots of jabbing, lots of right crosses, but out of nowhere, left hook to the body, the floating rib. Cullen didn't see it coming. Cullen turned away, involuntarily almost, grimaced, fell to the floor, struggled to, I think he took his gum shield out, probably trying to buy a few more seconds, got up, was in the corner. The referee had a good look at him and then just waved it off, and Cullen, in fact, I think was sat down and he needed time to recover. There was a right decision by the referee. There was a cut earlier on, actually. There was a clash of heads, and Cullen was cut over I think it was the left eye, and it was a sort of slice. It was one of those cuts that's relatively easy to treat because it's a clean cut. It's not jagged. The jagged cuts are the ones that are so difficult to close. Having said that, it was indicative of Sadjo's, powerful bursts, powerfully accurate bursts, that the blood did keep flowing. Cullen couldn't really keep Sadjo off him long enough to protect the cut. But when that left hook landed in the 6th round, that's all she wrote, really, to be honest with you. And Cullen was done. He didn't complain either. So yeah, France has a new EBU super-middleweight champion. I hadn't seen the guy before. Looks pretty limited to me, but very powerful, very physically strong. Someone with a bit of pop. Cullen hasn't got much of a punch. I mean, was it nine knockouts in his career? And he was landing punches against Sadjo. Sadjo was taking a lot of them on the gloves, but I didn't really see a great deal of pop in Cullen's punches. Certainly not at this higher weight, super middleweight. A lot of the time, these tall, thin fighters, you know, have a lot of power. Wilder with the right hand, Tommy Hearns, you know, to name two obvious ones, but not with Cullen. He's a light puncher. Couldn't keep Sadjo off him. If Sadjo meets someone who's got a lot more power, I think he's in trouble. I don't see him going beyond EBU level. For Cullen, he'll probably drop back down to British level. He gave it his all, didn't quite work out, but he can still be in good domestic level fights. If he wins a few, maybe he can have another go at the EBU title. So, yeah, the third defeat of Jack Cullen's career. He's now 23-1. 20 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw. And all 3 of his defeats have come by stoppage. And Kevin Sadjo of France, the new champ, is 17-0 and with 15 KOs. So probably looking at a world title fight, I'd imagine. Did you see the fight? Can Little Lever's meat Cleaver come again? What do you think of Kevin Sadjo? Let me know in the comments. We've got the big one coming up next, which is Chisora and Parker, the rematch. Looking forward to that one. Looking forward to it a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest. But let me know your comments on this fight if you saw it down below. And, you know, take care of yourself. I'll speak to you again sometime. Bye for now.